More and more hairstylists are realizing the opportunity that working as a mobile or freelance hairstylist can bring. They're learning that it's a great way to be more flexible and free and give you the ability to create your dream job. As a freelance or mobile stylist, you make the rules about what, where, and when you take your clients, as well as which specific services that you will offer, without being bound by the walls of a spa, a salon, or a shop. Today, I will be beginning a series of videos dedicated to freelance and mobile hairstyling. I'll be sharing how I transitioned from my studio suite into a very different business model as a result of the recent COVID-1984 outbreak. And plus, I will be sharing how you can go about doing it too. First, we'll talk about my two favorite ways that you can structure your business if you are seriously considering leaving your current salon or suite. Second, we're going to talk about how you can introduce this idea to your current clientele. Plus, I will give you some good tips on how you can begin to transition your clients to your new business model. Third, we will start to go over the logistics of what you're going to need, and I'll show you how you can get a complete mobile hairstyling supplies checklist if you are ready to start transitioning your business ASAP. And as a bonus, I'm going to share with you the number one thing I need, and I don't think I could even live life without as a freelance and mobile hairstylist. So let's get started. So if you are seriously considering becoming a freelance or a mobile hairstylist, let's first talk about a couple of the ways that you can actually structure your business. I myself work two different business models. During the lockdown, I was actually locked out of my salon, which I didn't realize could even happen considering I am in business for myself. But once we were allowed to return to work, I realized I never wanted to be in that position again. So I began to think about other options for me moving forward. Now, during the shutdown, I really didn't work, although it did not take long for my clients to start reaching out to me and trying to convince me to come to their house and do their hair, which made me realize that I actually had quite a few clients that were open to mobile appointments. So upon returning to my studio, I took 1 month to get my clients back into the salon, and then I revealed my plans moving forward. I let them know that I would be offering mobile appointments bi-weekly, but obviously this business model was not ideal for all of my clients, which is how I came up with the second structure I have in place, which I refer to as being a pop-up hairstylist. Now, this is a business model that I haven't seen anybody else do in the mobile styling world, but I know it does exist because I had a client who actually told me that they went to an esthetician who operated her business this way, and this was in Las Vegas. So just to clarify, a pop-up hairstylist is somebody who actually rents out a space temporarily as a pop-up location in order to service their clients. The way that I do this is by renting out a super nice hotel anywhere from 3 to 5 days every other week. And usually it's always at the same hotel. I don't really like to switch it up, although you could. I personally wouldn't recommend doing that, but that is an option. I like to stick with the same hotel. And then I have a set schedule, which makes it really easy to rebook my clients or even schedule new clients ahead of time. Some of the benefits are not having to sign a lease, not having to pay for utilities or Wi-Fi, for example. You usually have plenty of free parking, plus it's clean as long as you book the right kind of hotel, of course. And hotels are usually in more commercial locations, which works out better when you're a service-based business. I've been doing this for about a year, and I can tell you that it's worked out really well. My clients have been super supportive, and they're all so impressed and absolutely love the way that I have really pivoted my business during these really uncertain times. During this series, I will be going more in depth about how exactly I run my pop-ups, but we will leave it here for now. Now, let's talk about some of the ways that will support you as you begin to introduce this idea to your current clientele, especially if you're currently working out of a salon. So my advice would be to give yourself at least 4 to 6 weeks to make this transition. That way, you're able to see a good majority of your clients during that time and speak to them one-on-one, letting them know exactly what your plan is going forward and answering any questions that they may have for you. When it comes time to rebook them, even if you're not exactly sure where you're going to be, give them the general area and then just let them know that you will reach out to them before their appointment with all the details that they will need for their upcoming service. Communicating with them is the number one thing. If you have a pretty solid clientele, most should be willing to follow you, especially if you plan on staying close to the area that you are currently working in. Next, it's on you to get all the details figured out, such as the location. You should be updating your website, your booking calendar, as well as making sure that you have all the supplies that you need when you open up your pop-up. One thing that I will say is that if you are able to take someone along to help, this could really benefit you, at least in the beginning. And an even better, more affordable option would be if you were able to even team up with another stylist and work together. That way you could split the costs, plus you'll have help during your transition. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the things that you will need when you begin. One of the things I think you really need when you begin doing mobile styling is a reliable, larger sized vehicle. It's really important, and I don't know what I would do if I didn't have the type of car that I have. I drive a Nissan Armada, and it has a 3rd row. And yeah, it does take a lot of gas, which isn't always great, but it is a very nice sized vehicle for what it is that I do. Being able to put down a 3rd row and utilize a huge trunk just really, really helps. You also definitely need to make sure that you have a fold-up table and a lightweight, low-backed computer chair that's on wheels with hydraulics, so where it goes up and down. I think it's important to just bring your own. Just make sure it is hydraulic and that it has that lower back, because that way you'll have the ability of it going up and down, then having the lower back to be able to lean them back and shampoo them using that chair too. I also recommend bringing your own lightweight but pretty large size mirror so you can put that right onto your table and prop it up against the wall. I just buffer it with like a towel on the other side just so that way, you make sure not to damage their wall. It's just nice to kind of set up your own little station basically. And you also want to make sure that you're bringing clean towels, clean capes, and I'd also recommend something to put underneath of you when you're doing color, like something to lay on the floor. I always ask them if they would prefer that. Some do want you to put something on the floor and some don't care. I found this mat, which is meant to be used under babies' high chairs when they're eating. I got it on Amazon and it's awesome because it's super, super easy to clean. I will put a link to it in the description box below for you guys. Oh yeah, and the other thing is garbage bags. You don't forget garbage bags. They're really good to bring as well. I'm actually going to do a video about all of the essentials that you need when working as a mobile stylist very soon. But if you can't wait till then, I'm going to offer you the Mobile Stylist product and supply list. It is the complete guide to the supplies you are going to need as a mobile hairstylist. So if you need that ASAP, go grab that. I'm going to also link that in the description box below. One more thing I would recommend is having some type of correspondence with your client before the appointment. That way you can let them know what kind of space that you're going to need to set up and ask them about their water accessibility. I would also make sure that the same information was able to be accessed on your website as well. So before we do go, I want to tell you what the number one thing that I have to have when I'm working as a mobile hairstylist. And that would be this amazing wagon. It is the absolute best. I have 3 of these, and I honestly don't even know how I can live life without them at this point. These are an absolute must, okay? They are just wonderful for bringing all your stuff along. All right, so this is going to conclude this video. This is part 1 and basically just an introduction into my new Mobile Stylist series. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you on the next one. All right, bye.